Hi, I'm Jay from JJ's PC Builds, and this is my story. Hello, everybody. Today, or tonight, as I'm recording this, I'm going to bring you to a little story about me and backstory about how I got started and how I ended up here today. Reason why I'm giving you this backstory is because a friend of mine asked me, hey, and said, Jay, you need to do a backstory. I'm like, okay. So, here it goes. How I got started back then was back in 1986. Was I got into computers as they were evolving and everything else, and a friend of mine says, okay, well, we have a whole bunch of computers for you. We want to see what you can do with them. I'm like, okay. Back then, when I first got started, I did not know nothing about computers. But over time, as time progressed, all the way up to 2012, I kind of slacked off a little bit on the computers because due to health reasons and stuff like that. 2010, go back to 2010, I tried to go for disability from the U.S. government, but the U.S. government told me that I'm not eligible. Even though my doctor declared me disabled, they still said I was ineligible. Well, maybe they don't have to take a ton of these every day, every morning. And I take these 7 days a week. Let me put these over here. I take those every day. And people wonder, another guy put it on, what was it, a while back. He put on the video, why do you talk so slow? Well, let's see. I'm taking medication that keeps me going every day, and it does slow me down. On top of that, from having, I guess, from what my doctor told me, that I had like a stroke, and I didn't realize it. And he didn't know how I got past it, but I lived through it. And on top of that, back years ago, I fell out of a 3-story window on my face. That's the reason why I got this mark on my head. So, and I survived that. But that's not the story of why I'm into PCs. I love doing PCs every day. Looking at the information, just dreaming about building the most ultimate PC in the world. Okay, one that's just going to blow everybody's socks off. Because I found, in my mind, I find that there's more to it than everybody thinks. There's much more performance, and I love getting performance out of PCs, especially the one I've built to make the YouTube videos on. I content create, I got my own channel. Actually, I got 3. But I focus on this one right here. The other 2, I'll kind of put something on there once in a while, but I don't do it all the time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other 2 channels, but for now, they're just fine. But this channel here, I am trying to make my channel grow. And the reason why I got into YouTube was back almost 3 years ago. I had a friend of mine come up to me and say, hey, I was watching this guy and he was sitting there saying, I don't really remember. I have a hard time remembering some things. But he was saying something about, you can swap a couple things in your PC to make it run faster and this and that. That's what he was saying. So I said, okay, what were you trying to do? He says to me, I'm trying to make my computer run faster, but I'm on a budget. And I'm like, well, what kind of budget are you on? And he says to me, he only had like a $200 budget. Back then, that to him, that was a lot of money. I understand that. Okay, I said, okay, well, let's take a look and see what you got. So I looked and see what he had, and I'm like, interesting. Because back then, he was like running DDR3. I think it was at 2,666 megahertz. And he was running, what was it, an Intel Gen 2, 1151 socket or something like that. So I said, okay, well, let's do this. Let's first start with the socket you have and what we can do to make it better. So moving things around, tweaking in the BIOS and stuff like that, I was able to get him a little bit more speeds, but it was able to run the games he was playing with no problem. He was happy with that. And I'm like, cool. And I don't remember who the content creator was, but he said to me he told him to do just the opposite of making his PC run faster. I was like, how many times has this happened? And he says, all the time. I'm like, wow. So I got the brand newest idea since YouTube was out there to start off my adventure and to help people build, show them a better way to build. So I started my adventure off in the beginning. I started off with the B450 motherboard. I started off with integrated graphics. I was able to game on it, not AAA games, don't get me wrong. It's not like that. It was enough to play some of the older games. I was happy with that. I did that for about a year, and then, boom, I built my next system, which was a B550 motherboard, 5700X. I said, it's time to trade in the 1650, the GTX 1650, which I still have, but to get me something bigger. So what I did was I went to Best Buy and picked me up RX 6500 XT. So I said, oh, cool, I got something new. So I'm sitting there testing it on, Steam. They got testing programs on Steam. And I'm like, this is running slower than crap. It's running slower than my 1650. I'm like, no, this ain't happening. So, and plus, when I tried to overclock it, it would not go. I mean, when I mean not go, I mean it would take and blue screen and shut down and restart, meaning not go. So I investigated a little further than looking into it, and there's a program that's like cuts you at a certain amount of power and everything else that NVIDIA has embedded into their software. So I said, hell with this. I'm not going this route. So I took the graphics card, repacked it nicely, not damaged or anything else, took it back to Best Buy and asked them for a refund, which they did so. It's not so much me putting it on the internet to test, I was testing it for my personal preference to see if it's a card that I would like. It was a 4 GB card. I was just looking for something to play on Second Life. But it didn't seem to do well on Second Life. It did just the opposite. So I took it back, got my money back, held on to my money for a couple weeks, and then NVIDIA launches the RTX 4070. So I said, okay, I like the way the card looks. I like the way, I see the performance. Even though everybody said it was a crap card, nobody should buy it and this and that. They did that same song and dance and told everybody, well, it's not performing very well. It's not something you should buy and this and that. I never believed it. So about a month after it launched, I was talking with my friend and said, look, that's the card I want to get. And he's like, okay, well, let's get it. I said, all right, well, how am I going to get it? He said to me like this. He says, I want you to build me another PC and we're going to do some trading and it'll cost you $100. I was like, cool. So I built him another PC and I gave him $100 and he purchased the card. And it was this one here. The Asus Dual RTX 4070 OC model. I was like tickled pink about having the cart. So I took out my 5600G from the B550 motherboard, replaced it with the 5700X. I still have my 64 gigs of RAM, 3200 megahertz, which is boosted to 3400 megahertz, by the way. And plugged in the 4070. Tested it out many of times. And I was like, damn. The card just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. I had to learn how that switch worked on the graphics card. So I learned how that worked. And, I was very happy then. And I'm still got that same card in my computer. I'm not going to give it up because I enjoy it so much. And it satisfies me for all the games and everything that I play, content creating and everything else. I'm not dissatisfied with it whatsoever. So, but the moral of the story is this. Just because you don't have the best of the best in the world doesn't mean that you can't get great gameplay. Yeah, you might not have all the settings you would want to acquire in, but I'm happy with the settings I got. And it runs the card very well. Plays all the games I want. I don't have to worry about playing any game that comes out. Sooner or later, in the next couple of years, I might have to worry about that, and then probably have to worry about going to 16 gigabytes of VRAM. But for now, 12 gigabytes of VRAM is just fine. I have no problem with that. But the moral of the story of this is this. I got tired of hearing my friends have such bad luck with other people not giving them the right information and everything else. Look, I'm not no genius. I can tell you that. I don't know everything about PCs, but I am learning day by day, new things every day. And don't forget your drink and your snacks. I got water tonight. So, and yes, I talk slow. I cannot help it. This is something that's medically wrong with me, and I try to do the best I can. Sometimes I lose my thoughts, which happens on the internet quite a lot. But as far as bashing companies, I'm not that kind of person that's going to go out and bash a company. Yeah, I kind of get overwrought about a company with the performance and what they're doing with the product, but that's the hardware. That's not the company. The company can only do what they can do. Okay? Stop bashing companies. They know what they're doing wrong. They will fix it. You put out your complaint, they'll see it, they'll take and analyze it, and they'll put it in their consideration bucket. And then when the bucket's filled, they'll try to fix everything they can on it. NVIDIA's working towards, and I'm not sticking up for no company. NVIDIA's trying to fix their problem with their software. It's taking time. So, because time is money to them. This is costing them millions of dollars for them to formulate new updates for these graphics cards. The ones that, the updates we don't pay for. We paid for our graphics card, but we paid for our graphics card, we paid for that first set of software. All the rest of the next updates are free. So I don't know why everybody's complaining about it. If they make a mistake, then write them a letter stating that you have this problem and see if the technicians might be able to help. Write them a letter. Send them an email. Tell them you got this problem. Put in a ticket. So this way they can see what the problem is. But everybody goes around the fact and sits there and puts them on blast. It's not going to fix the problem. Putting them on blast is not going to fix the problem. Sending in a ticket, telling them your complaint on the product, that might help you get the problem fixed. It might. And if you send them enough notice, and send them the ticket number and everything else, and send them enough notice, then you'll get noticed. Sometimes they miss things on emails, so you got to constantly keep on them until they acknowledge you. And just keep on them and keep on the problem until they say, okay, we're on it. It sounds repetitious, and it sounds like, it's very taxing and overwhelming to get something like that done. It's either that, or you take all that hard-earned money that you spent on your PC device, your PC part, and you just throw it in the toilet. I'm not going to throw mine in the toilet. If I got a problem with my part, I'm going to take and I'm going to email the company, and I'm going to get a ticket, and I'm going to keep on that ticket until they get the problem resolved. But if something that they can't resolve by software, then I'll have to RMA the product, and they'll have to send me a new one. That's how it works. Some people say they're not doing that anymore. They're just giving you old products and stuff like that. Well, maybe you didn't do it correctly. Maybe you didn't RMA it correctly. Maybe if they didn't fix your motherboard, you should have told them, I want a brand new one. In a box, packed just correctly. And if it's not, I'm going to RMA this one, and I'm going to keep RMAing it until you give me a brand new one in the box. So It is time consuming, but if you want your PC to run 100%, then you're going to keep up on every little thing. I know everybody's telling me that the 50 series is nothing but garbage. Look, it could be software related, or it could be hardware related. It could be the new GDDR7 VRAM chips are not cooperating because these are new chips. They're not well tested. They're recently tested, but they're not well tested. Not like GDDR6 and GDDR6X, which is well tested over the years. But these are brand new. There's going to be issues. Everybody's talking about black screening and everything else. That leads me to believe that the chipset, the VRAM chipset, has got some issues. So that's just my opinion. It could be or it couldn't be. Could be a faulty chip. Even with the faulty chip, you'll get stuttering, you'll get black screening. The way you mitigate it is this. You get OCCT. It's a nice little program to stress test your GPU and stress test your GPU for 10 whole minutes. And if the stuttering arises, then you know it's an issue with the hardware. But if it doesn't arise, then it's going to be software. So it's not hard to figure out. I know you guys don't want to hear my sob story and anything else. I mean, I'm just talking to you guys tonight and telling you guys what's on my mind. I know I got a live stream tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time, and then we got a lot to talk about there about the software and everything else this week. But yeah, I talk slow, and I know YouTube probably shadow bans all my videos so nobody sees it or anything else. Hides it underneath, where nobody sees it. And I found out why YouTube does what it does. I'm just talking with you guys. Well, when you watch a video all the way through, then it comes up to that end screen. Guess what I seen? One of my videos. I don't see it posted in the front. I see 10-year-old videos, 12-year-old videos, 15-year-old videos, 6-year-old videos, and a couple subscriber videos, who I'm subscribed to. I see a couple of them pop up, but it's either what pops up is political or old videos, 6 to 10 to 12 or so years. But I don't see none of my new posted videos pop up, other than hiding in the shadows. Especially when you watch a full video and what's behind it, one of my videos. Maybe it is because I'm not paid. I didn't pay their subscription. But if I started this in 2013, I guarantee I wouldn't have this problem, because then I would have, enough subscribers. They wouldn't put me behind the scenes. I have yet in the last 2 years, well, actually the last 3 years, let me put it to you this way. First 6 months, my videos were popping up forward. And then it started diminishing to the point where I don't see them pop up at all after I got done doing a video, even on my own feeds. Even my secondary feed, because I always have a backup feed checking to make sure my video's posted. right here. And it doesn't even post up on the top screen. It don't even post up in the subscription screen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll post up in my notifications, sometimes it won't. So, you know, I am trying so hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. And to get my watch hours up, I'm at 3,500 watch hours. If you really want to get down to the brass tacks, I'm going to show you guys where I first started to now and how much I've gotten. Okay, this is what I got. 365 days right here. I got views. I got 54,300. Watch time hours, I got 3,400. And subscribers I gained was 237. And I'm down. Less than 17% in 365. But my total subscriber count for 365 days is 651. Okay. But from when I first started, and this is the kicker. Okay. So far, when I first started, back almost 3 years ago, I got 129,800 views. Watch time hours is 8,100. And my subscriber count is 649. But guess what? My subscribers are 651. But there's a problem. There's a problem with this. If I go onto my YouTube page on my phone and I go to my home page, it only shows 761 videos. But that's not what I got. So, basically, this is what I get. This is all I got. And I've been on YouTube making videos for almost 3 years. I got 4 million impressions. My click-through rate's at 1.7%, and my average is at 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Okay, so I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know. And I know I'm trying to make videos as much as I can, but it seems that I should be over 1,000 videos. But for some reason, it doesn't seem like my number is like growing. I mean, I could be doing 5 to 6 videos a week. And it seems like my number is not really growing up to the 1,000 mark of videos. But I am trying to grow. But this is where everybody gets it wrong. From what I was realizing, that my live streams were not being counted. And I got a ton of live streams. A ton. I mean, I got a ton. So we got 50. Let's see. We got 50. We got 128 live streams. that I've done on YouTube. So adding that to, let's see, let's get back to it. Adding that, and I don't think what's happening, and I could be wrong about this. Let's see, let's get the calculator out really quick. From what I'm seeing YouTube's doing is they're not adding in the live streams. So basically I got 761 recorded videos, and I have 128 live streams. So basically, and on my other two channels, I should be over 1,000 videos. So, just saying. So I should be over 1,000 videos. But I know it's the perception of what everybody sees and everybody understands, but okay. Down to the brass tacks of the moral of the story, so I don't make this a long video. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit insight about me and what we're about here. I'm here for the consumer, to work with the consumer, to help the consumer get their PCs up and going if I can. I don't charge for this. Okay, I have over 500 subscribers right now. I could get partial monetization. I haven't done that yet. So I'm thinking about it. I should. Doesn't mean that it's going to change the price of apples. It's just I don't get paid for ads until I reach 1,000 subscribers. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all my videos and make sure that nothing's copyright infringed. And then I'm going to work towards the success, and I'm going to go ahead and monetize my channel. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, or YouTube's going to open it up for me and, push me out to a wider audience. Who knows? But I need to do something. I need you guys' help. I'm almost going on my 3rd year, and there's people that's only been doing it a month, and they already have over 50 to 100,000 subscribers in a month. Maybe because you guys didn't know my story and what's going on with me. Yes, I have medical disabilities, but since I'm trying to live the American dream, I'm trying to do the best I can. So I'm trying to make the best I can with my channel. I want to start being able to build computers, new and improved, be able to do many of things, do testing and everything else, and, give you the best information I can without having any strings attached to it. So that's my goal. My ambitions and my goal are to give as much as positive information I can to the community, and what my findings are to make your PC experience the best that I can make it. But I hope you all understand, because this video here, I am not cutting anything out. I am not modifying it. I'm not cutting it. I'm not doing nothing with it. You'll have the opening in the beginning, and then you'll have the closing at the end. And you might get a pop-up for like and subscribe and all that. Would be appreciated. Would be appreciated. I don't know why, but I've been waiting to do this video for quite a while, because I'm not sure how I wanted to make it, because I wanted everybody to understand what's going on here and the difficulties I have, especially with editing and everything on the videos. I'm not, very good at editing videos. So I don't have that magic touch to make them look good. I have a 4K camera that wants to run at 1080p because it's a Chinese knockoff. Nothing I can do. I'm at 1080p. I guess I'm stuck at 1080p for a while until I can branch out, or somebody sees my video and says, I want to help that guy. I want to be his sponsor. That would be cool. That would help me pick up the channel and make it better and make it more fun and more entertaining and everything else. And it would actually, this small room that I'm in, would actually help me get into a bigger studio and stuff like that. So I can grow. So I can make things better. So I can get more. So I can put more content out there. So I'm not looking like the kind of guy that's going around and using other people's benchmarks to make videos. It bothers me doing that. But that's all I got to work with right now because I don't have the hardware. I would really love to have the hardware to test. I really do. Because that's what I love. I love the thrill of making that hardware just scream. Like it just wants to jump out of its skin and scream. You guys know. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've made my PC jump out of the case, basically. Bent over backwards, pushed it to its limits and everything else. My content creating PC, I've pushed to its limits because that's the only real PC that I feel that has some kind of real world value. That's the reason why I got a couple older PCs. I got a 4th gen Intel. I got a 2nd gen Intel. I got an 8th gen Intel. I still have my B450 motherboard with the 5600G, which I have to fix. Which I could probably do a video on that and how to fix the BIOS flashback to get it up and running. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, to reflash the BIOS to get the motherboard up and running again. And it's just funny and frustrating to see that motherboard. The only reason it got bricked was over the system RAM by me upclocking the system RAM. Just turning it up 200 megahertz on the system RAM. And the PC, the motherboard decided to lock itself out. And yes, and trust me, I've tried clearing the CMOS, and no, that's not getting anywhere there. The lights on the motherboard just stay on. They don't go off. That's telling me that the BIOS is locked. So I have to figure out how to unlock the BIOS. I might take you guys along with me on that, on another video. But this video is getting long, and I don't want it to get too long. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to do with my channel. And I'm trying my best to get the best information out to you guys. I really am. I got Discord. I have a Discord that we all rock on. Somebody says to me, I want to be a part of your Discord. I want to join your Discord, which is free. So what I do is I send them a link to become a Discord member. This is not a link I just leave out there for the world for anybody just to come in. Ones that come onto my live streams, they ask me for a link. I post a link. You know, I try to keep it real. So that's why I know everybody that comes into the Discord is interested to be here. We're growing. We are growing the Discord. Also, too, I'm going to be in the future. Well, right now I have Patreon, but I have one person on Patreon, and thank you, Machine. You are a lifesaver, man. You and MTBK and Dakota. You guys are like lifesavers. You guys been with me from the beginning to now, and I know you guys are like ride or die. So, and I do appreciate you guys being the most loyal subscribers I have on my channel. I have some loyal subscribers starting to emerge on my channel, but these three gentlemen are ride or die. So, and I do appreciate you guys helping and trying to do your best on your end to give me pointers on some things, your opinions, and I take your opinions like gold. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. But there are some things that recently came up. I've been going to the heart doctor. He's been doing tests on my heart. I want to be able to leave something for the future of my kids as well. Personal reasons wise, I can't tell you guys. It's personal reasons, but they know who I am. I want to be able to leave them something as well as leaving the whole world everything about me. So, I know you guys didn't expect a video like this, but I have to do something. I don't think the world understands where JJ's PC Builds is coming from, and JJ as the host. Maybe if I give you guys what's coming up, what's on my mind, and I put it out there so you guys can see it, you'll understand where I'm coming from. And I hope that you stayed to the end of the video too. So, which I'm going to make at the end of the video right here, because it's going to get too long and I don't want it to be any longer than everybody's attention span has to be on it. So, and I understand that everybody's attention span only goes about between 7 and 12 minutes. And going over 20 minutes is kind of pushing the extreme. But this is over 40 minutes, and I'm not going to break up the video. I'm just going to make it, and I'm going to put it out there for you. And this is my story. And also, too, just to let you know part of my story, I've been a restaurant manager for many of years in hospitality. I spent 36 plus years in cooking, working with the public, enjoyed working with the public. It's been a great adventure. But this is something that I've been doing just as long as I've been cooking, building PCs. Early 80s to now. I enjoy what I do. And this right here, I enjoy. So, I hope you guys stick with me and stick with me on my adventure. And I hopefully we can enjoy the adventure together and make this channel grow and get a billion subscribers, which I always would dream of, but I'd be happy just to get a couple million at least. So, but anyway, thank you for listening to my story, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and don't forget about the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. I should have did it right. No, let's do it right. Okay, I put the special button in here, so we're gonna do it again. So hit the subscribe button, the like button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. Until the next time, in the next video, you know what it is, and we'll see you on the next one.